How do we know whether or not you are playing like an amateur or playing like an expert?
There's a big difference between amateurs and experts. Experts play the long game. Amateurs are in it for right now. Amateurs get bored quick when they don't have success. And that's when experts get started. Experts know the power of focus. Amateurs want to play and have a good time with a lot of different things.
I wrestle with this all the time because I have a lot of experience now, but sometimes I feel like I'm playing the amateur's game. Like when I'm tempted by a budget, like let's say it's a big budget, but a client from hell. And I feel like, that's an amateur move, but the budget is so tempting, right? But you know it's going to be a train wreck, you know?
I don't always look at it like that. You might be a little hard on yourself. I always look at it like if we could do a 100% good always, then that would be the ideal choice. But life is not like that. It's much more gray and murky. Sometimes you can take on a fat project like that and say, I'm going to grind my teeth through the process, but I'm going to do it with enthusiasm, because the first thing I would say is don't take on a project that you're going to be resentful for doing. That's a pretty bad thing for you and for the client. But then that opens up for that low budget dog thing that you want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you have to steal from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
Yeah.
When we were doing service work, I would take on a music video project, which is almost always a money losing proposition. I think there's one we barely broke even, but all the other ones we paid almost as much as the artist paid to finish the video for them. But somebody else is going to pay for that. I don't want to name the names, but these giant corporations have a gazillion dollars. They don't care. And we'll do it. We love doing the work, but we know that pays for some of these more artistic endeavors, and it's okay. And we have to find that balance.
One for the money, two for the show, as they
Something
say.
like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then I struggle with the other side, which is what Seth wrote this last book on, The Practice, right? Like I battle mentally with focusing too much on the result and not on the process. And that's really, really, really hard thing to do. But I think that's what an expert does. That's what a professional does, right?
100%.
You focus on the process, the thing, making it as good as it can be. And then you put it out into the world, and then you have to forget about it because then it's out of your control. And, I'm creative, and that's my baby. And, I've spent all this time and emotional, that's like the sunk cost fallacy, right? All of that into it. I put it out there, and then, the output is not what I expected. That's disappointing. But to me, that's the path of the expert.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think amateurs love results. The experts love the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And if you love the journey, then you'll get better results. So what happens with amateurs, when they don't get the results, they quit. They start over. They do different things. They find fault. But the expert, it's like, this didn't work. What can I learn? How do I keep doing this? Because I just want to play the game for as long as possible. Taking it to the beginning of our conversation, which was, hey, you have these big crazy goals. How you can get there? I have no idea, but I'm just going to enjoy the entire process because I'm going to learn something along the way. I'm going to learn a whole bunch of ways where it's not going to work, but eventually I'll find the right way, and I'm going to celebrate that. And soon the memory of the loss will fade from my mind, and I'll just focus on what works.